We're now in Acts 18. I'll take it uh, verse 1 to 17. After this, Paul left Athens and went to Corinth. There he met a Jew named Aquila, a native of Pontus, who had recently come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had ordered all Jews to leave Rome. This happened to Jews all through history. Paul went to see them, and because he was a tent maker, this Aquila fella, as they were, he stayed and worked with him. Paul, again, as he said in the past, he worked for his own living on top of what he ought to be paid because he's a minister. Anyhow, every Sabbath he reasoned in the synagogue, Paul, trying to persuade Jews and Greeks. When Silas and Timothy came from Macedonia, Paul devoted himself exclusively to preaching, testifying to the Jews that Jesus was the Messiah. But when they opposed Paul and became abusive, he took out his clothes, Paul, in protest, and said to them, "Your blood be on your own heads. I am innocent of it. From now on, I will go to the Gentiles, and no more to the Jews." He had enough. Remember, Jesus said to the apostle, "Shake your sandals off of that city doesn't believe in me." Then Paul left the synagogue and went next door to the house of Titus, just as a worshiper of God. Crispus, the synagogue leader, and his entire household believed in the Lord, and many of the Corinthians also heard Paul, believed, and were baptized. One night, the Lord spoke to Paul in a vision. "Do not be afraid. Keep on speaking. Do not be silent." In other words, don't leave Corinth. "For I am with you, and no one is going to attack you and harm you, because I have many people in this city." So Paul stayed in Corinth for a year and a half, teaching them the word of God. While Gallio was proconsul of Achaia, the Jews of Corinth made a united attack on Paul and brought him to the place of judgment. This man, they charged, referring to Paul, is persuading the people to worship God in ways contrary to the law, the Jewish law. Just as Paul was about to speak, Galileo said to them, probably of God, because God said to protect him, so God stirred his spirit like Cyrus to let the people go of Israel back to after he conquered the Babylonian Empire back to their land. He stirred him too, as God said he protected him. Galileo said to them, "If you are Jews making a complaint about such a misdemeanor or serious crime, it would be reasonable for me to listen to you. But since it involves questions about words and names, come out your own law. The Old Testament, settle this matter amongst yourselves. I will not be a judge of such things." So they drove off. So he drove them off. Then the crowd turned on another synagogue leader, and beat him in front of the proconsul, and Galileo showed no concern whatsoever. I don't know why they did that, and who he was doesn't say. Okay, bye.